Hey guys, it's me, Henez. I'm back. Yay, woo! Let's go. Took a little bit of a break so that I could slow down a bit and have a think of the series as a whole, because when I'm doing a video every 2 days and the video is anchored on like the actual project progress I make, it doesn't leave much meta thinking time. But I think what I want to try is I want to keep doing the videos every 2 days, the rapid fire progress and showing off everything at very frequent intervals was part of the original motivation for this series, so it's not really an option to make it into a weekly series or something like that. I want to avoid that. Instead, what I'm thinking is I might aim to make the average video about 5 minutes down from about 10 minutes, which is what I was aiming at, and to have a focus on the showable things that I've done and to cut out a lot of the very long parts of me talking, because my thoughts on the game's design and the mechanic I'm working on, it changes constantly as I'm working on it. So even if I talk a lot about how a system's going to play out, such as this video which is on ailments, it's very likely that when I make more progress on the ailment system later that my thoughts completely changed and I'll end up just repeating a whole bunch of stuff. I would like feedback from you guys if you guys are listening and paying attention right now. First of all, like the video. Thank you. Now that that's done, I'd like to know your thoughts on what you think the ideal video length is, understanding that it's a series every 2 days. You know, does it make more sense to have them to be much shorter, around 5-minute bite-sized chunks, or if I should go for that more standard 10-minute video size? Yeah, just give me what your thoughts are. I'd like to hear honestly how much of the video you really feel that you can pay attention to or care to before you click something else, or yeah, whatever thoughts you might have. I'd appreciate it. What I'm thinking now is I might try a few episodes at just 5 minutes and focus on stuff I can show and cut out long talking. As you can see in my notepad here, I write down a lot of stuff I'm working on for my own helpful dot points, obviously. And if this were a standard 10-minute episode, then I'd probably spend a lot of time talking about my plans for the ailment system like I have here. But you'll find that when I actually play this video, which was nicely cut into 5 minutes, but now it's going to be longer because I need to stick this somewhere, you can see that the details I've thought out won't actually translate into the video at all. It's mainly just talking about how I've gone about displaying the ailment effects. It doesn't talk about the different kinds of ailment effects I have planned, and how to get them and how to deal with them and stuff like that. So cool. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace. Hey boys, it's me. I'm back after a little bit of a break. Now that I'm uploading again, I want to get back on the 2 days, the every 2 day cycle. I'm going to give you a quick look at progress I've made on the ailments or status effects system. So I'll start by showing you what I've got to show. Okay, I'm going to take my 8 steps that gets me into battle. And then very quickly, as soon as I attack this big guy right here, ding, you'll see that he goes green and he's blinking. And that, my friends, he is also periodically taking 1 damage. And the same is happening to my guys who are being attacked, and they're very quickly dropping. And that is because attack right now is applying a poison. The attack command right now is applying the poison status effect to whoever gets hit. So, whoops, I can hit that guy as well, and we're going to start poisoning him. It's not helpful that all my guys died so quickly, because this guy's still got all the flame variants, and it's the other guys who have the different status effects to show. But yeah, you can see very basically that we've got a system going that gives them kind of a blinking color. We're using just a simple shader to add some green coloring to each of the opaque visible pixels, so it gives them this nice little sick effect. And also periodically they're bleeding damage, and you can see on my player that his health is dropping periodically because of it. Now I'm going to quickly restart it because I've got other status effects to show, and I want to show off a little more of that, of the coloring system. So I'm going to very quickly attack this guy, and then I'm also going to use flame. Now flame currently also applies a berserk status effect, which I've demonstrated with like a similar red effect, right? But what's happening here is that this guy, or that guy, was both poisoned and berserked, but it's blinking through the effects one at a time. So I've got like a little system going there where all of the drawed effects, if they have multiple status effects, they will kind of draw in a sequence, because if I just draw all the effects at once, which some of the older Final Fantasy games did, there wasn't much clarity as to what was actually going on. You know, you get 2 or 3 effects on the same guy. If I just drew all the colors at once, it just becomes like a mess of colors. So I've got a little system that blinks through them, and part of the system is that if there's multiple effects to draw, the more effects that are infecting the target, it will actually blink through the coloring faster. So you can't see it because I've only got 2 to show off, but say I've got like a whole slew of effects that draw in that way, I can control how fast they blink through. I'll also show off blind right here. I'm going to blind this guy. Boom. Ooh, that's not positioned. I was just playing around with the positioning. Oh, and then it crashes on me. Yeah, so I'll attempt to blind this guy, and we should get... Hey! You can see this is like another way of displaying ailments that I got, like this little particle effect here. It's got the cool shades that are going up and fading out. It's kind of meant to represent blind. It's a combination of other typical ways that the Final Fantasy series displayed blinds, where some of them they put the cool shades on the enemies, others they put like a purple smoke around their eyes or something like that. So I've kind of combined them. It's like smoke effect on a shade looking sprite. Looks a bit silly. Maybe it's better to just have the shades on their eyes or something, but I think that's okay. I'm going to blind. Oh, I can't blind because the guy's dead. That text box should have updated then. I'll try and do another run to show it on the imp, because for that to work I had to put extra information to when I declared the enemy to give it. I had to give it coordinates around where the eyes are, so there's a bit of randomness, but it's around the face, because otherwise the only information I had before was the top left coordinate of the enemy and the dead center of the enemy. Yeah, now when I declare an enemy I have to give it coordinates around the eyes. And I wasn't going to do that, and I was going to think of another solution, but then I realized what I want to do in here, which is probably what I'm going to work on next, is I want to get a little cutout of their face for this little enemy thing here. And for the bigger sprites I kind of need somewhere to anchor that from, so I kind of need to provide that extra information anyway. If I store eye coordinates for enemies now, I can translate a bit left and up and then cut like a rectangle out. Cool, so that's what I'm going to be doing next, and I'm going to wrap this one up here. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.